The most heavily guarded prison in the world welcomed another prisoner transport vehicle that day. As soon as the vehicle stopped, the guards immediately raised their weapons and aimed at the door. A burly orc stepped out of the prison van. The officer in charge of receiving prisoners froze on the spot. To prevent any accidents, the wardens used special rail chains to lock the orc tightly and escort him to the cell. Fortunately, everything went smoothly along the way. The soldiers only dared to remove the chains once they reached the cell door. But when the orc stepped inside, he found a man and a woman already imprisoned there. This made the orc extremely excited, for he hadn't tasted flesh for hundreds of years. The man beside him kindly warned the orc not to provoke the woman. The next second, the woman threw the orc hard onto the ground. Those imprisoned here were no ordinary criminals. The prison's adjudicator regularly gave inmates a chance to atone for their crimes. Only those who performed well could earn a pardon. However, because the woman had a quarrel with the orc, she was sentenced to an additional 2 years. They had no choice but to plan an escape. Soon it was time for the adjudicator to hold another prisoner review. While Tom was summarizing his recent performance, a birdman suddenly walked into the room. Tom hurried up to greet him with fake enthusiasm while frantically signaling his companions with his eyes. It turned out this was their escape plan. While everyone was still stunned, the woman quickly knocked down 2 guards. Then she grabbed the birdman and leapt out the window. The 3 fell rapidly from the high-altitude prison. Just as they were about to hit the ground, the birdman suddenly remembered he could fly. Finally, he carried the 2 and flew away from the snowy mountains. However, they still crash-landed miserably. The unlucky birdman was knocked unconscious. After confirming he was still breathing, Tom became extremely excited, because they had finally escaped from the most terrifying prison in the world.